Hey everybody! I am a few minutes late. My copier decided to be a little frantic today or something. My printer didn't want to work. It's very finicky. If I want to print something off the internet, it doesn't want to print that. I usually have to download a PDF to my own files and then print it that way. And so once I remembered that, she printed it. If you're here, say hello. I don't have comments turned on. Let me turn on the comments. I'd love to say hello to you. I send out cards for the card we're making today is so beautiful, and I kind of pick names from the comments to mail a card to. So this one's really pretty. So, and it's got kind of a few steps, but I did a lot of the work ahead of time. Hi, Donna. Hi, Carol. I'm going to flip this around. There we go. Don't forget about the DSP sale, 15% off select papers through Saturday. So if you want to grab some discounted designer series paper, you'll want to do that by Saturday. Saturday's the last day of the month, right? This is the beautiful card we are going to make. I love it. It's a fancy fold. And I think one of my classes to go, I might have did a fold like this. I was trying to remember and pull one of those cards. But I was at a Stampin' Up! Virtual meeting on Saturday, and we do swaps, and this card is from Donna McCain. She is also a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and so she's my inspiration for our card today, because I thought, let's share this card. She embossed hers, and I'm going to emboss mine. And I didn't take the time to look up the set that she used, but I really like this fold, and it's really not that hard to do. I'm using some dies. I'll get into that later. That will be available November 3rd. Okay, I'm just taking a piece of copy paper to show you how you're going to cut your paper to get this fold. You can still get 2 cards out of one 8.5 by 11-inch sheet of paper. I wonder if I should do this sideways. I don't know. Yeah. See if I can do it that way. But what you're going to want to do is cut it from, I'm trying to make sure y'all can see, from one corner to the next. And it is a little harder. I have so many different cutters because I prepare classes and things. So I have a bigger cutter that made it pretty easy for me. But you can do it with your trimmer. You just have to kind of finagle it. You want to make sure one corner is in the gutter or the alley of your trimmer, and the other corner is in there. So we're just cutting our paper in half diagonally. And when we get down to this end, we're going to have to scooch up or use scissors to finish, because we're using the smaller printer. So we can just turn it around and line that corner up in the gutter. Or I probably would just use scissors. But if you're kind of a perfectionist, just line the other end up, and you're going to have to use scissors anyway. I don't know what happened. I heard it cutting. But I would just use scissors to finish that small little inch that you're going to have left. So you're going to end up with 2 big triangles. Hi, Betty. Hi, Mom. And then I've already scored mine, so I'm going to show you how to do that. Like I said, this is just copy paper. I just wanted you to see how I did it. You're going to score this at 5.5. one of your little triangle areas with your scoring blade. Wait a minute. Let me get my little sample out. Here it is. Okay, this one we're going to score at 4 1/4. Glad I checked that. So you want to put your corner up, your completed corner up at 4 1/4 to score it. And I will have a diagram on my blog later today of all of this. Then we're going to turn it over and take this corner to 5 1/2, which it might have worked anyway, but I hope I didn't confuse you all completely. So then you can fold them at those score lines, and you've got a 5 1/2 by 4 1/4 inch card. There we go. If you want it to open up this way, fold it that way, or you can do it the opposite way. The card we're making today is this way. So I hope I didn't confuse everybody, but that's the little fold, and I'm not sure what you call it. But this is the card. I just love this card. I'm using the dies, the Sound of Christmas, Sound of the Season dies for the bells. And then these dies are something new that's coming up, and I was going to show you that. There is a bundle or stamp sets or dies. It's called Curvy Celebrations, and this is going to be available to you starting November 3rd. And in this configuration, it will be available till January 4th. But the Quite Curvy and the dies are in the new spring catalog. But they did something new, and they kind of threw in a bonus stamp set, a Christmas stamp set for us to use. So you can get the bundle and save 10% of the Quite Curvy with the dies. So confusing. Save 10%. This will be in the January through June mini catalog. And then you can buy the Christmas stamp set separate, but the dies will work with it. And there is going to be some Christmas Designer Series paper available. And I do not believe that the Curvy Christmas stamp set or the paper are going to carry forward, unless they're going to be in next year's holiday catalog, which I haven't heard anything about that. I have used these little birds in a project. I think I might have showed you all that. I love this paper. It's very traditional. Look at those little Christmas trees. Very traditional Christmas colors. Cherry cobbler, and there's some Sahara sand thrown in there for some neutral. And the green is the, slipped my mind, shaded spruce. It's a real pretty Christmas color. So we're going to use that paper. The paper will be available, the stamp set and the dies will be available on the 4th, which is next week. And I think we all need to celebrate next week because the election season will be over. Hopefully. Praying and knocking on wood. Okay. So, to make the card, I made the base, like I probably confused the heck out of y'all. I went ahead and cut, my paper and scored it. And then I embossed this corner with the Snowflake embossing folder. I'm loving this. I almost didn't order it, and then I ordered it, I don't know, kind of out of stress or pressure. And I've been using it like crazy, so I am so glad I ordered it. Let me see where it is at in the holiday catalog. It's on page 37. It's part of the Snowflake Splendor bundle. Winter Snow embossing folder. $7.50. Can't beat that. Embossing folders are pretty reasonably priced, and they pack a punch, I think, in projects. I always like a little texture in mine. Okay, so I just ran this portion through the embossing folder on my die cutting machine. And then my first layer is, this is not Sahara sand. Oh, the photocopier got me all in a tizzy. Let me think of this color, y'all. I swear I'm losing my mind. It is, and it reminds me of gold every time I use it. So whenever I want kind of a touch of gold, I always choose this color. It's one of my favorite neutrals. It is soft suede. Soft suede. And it does look kind of like a suede coat, but it just has a gold undertone I really like. So that's going to be a layer that I'm going to put my stamped layer on. But first, let's get this all embellished. See if I can get my card to kind of lay flat for y'all. So I'm going to do my stamping first. I stamped Merry Christmas at the top corner and the bottom corner in the soft suede ink. And I am using the stamps. All the stamps today are from the, I just laid everything aside and now I can't find it. The Curvy Die, or the Curvy Christmas. Here they are. Curvy Christmas. I'll pull it out. So I'm going to use the Merry Christmas and May Your Days Be Merry and Bright. I'm just using the 2 sentiment stamps from the stamp set. But these are real pretty used with the die, but I went a different direction. So I'm going to take the soft suede ink and just the top left-hand corner and the top right-hand, or bottom right-hand corner. And then I took some cherry cobbler. I guess I used the star stamps. There's a larger star and a smaller star and the cutest little snowflake. So I used these 2 star stamps with the cherry cobbler. Okay, I'm getting red ink everywhere again. That happened last week, remember? Wasn't red ink though. Okay. Whoops. There we go. And while we've got the ink out, let's go ahead and stamp the center of our card, which I know I cut a piece for it. Oh. Y'all, I remember cutting a piece for it. Maybe I didn't. Okay, I'll just show you what I did. That's a 4 by 5 and a 4th inch for the inside of the card, and I stamped the thinking of you at Christmas in the soft suede ink. I'm going to wash my hands. All right, now I've cut with the Curvy Dies these little strips of the Designer Series paper. And I'm going to start with the top one, which I think I'm going to use the smaller. And I want to fit them on here before I glue them down because I want to make sure I don't cover up important things. So some of my little stars are going to get covered up. But I think that's the placement I'll use. So I'm just going to use some liquid glue and then we're going to trim off the ends. In just a minute. So I'm just kind of butting them up against each other. I'll show you the die that I used. I do not want my Merry Christmas to be covered up. So I'm going to scooch that up a little bit. Okay. I didn't have time to cut out all of the dies so you could see what's in. Oh, that's the wrong one, people. Here we go. So I use this little curvy die, but you also get these two others, and then you get dies to cut out, excuse my reach, y'all, this image, the little image here. The little birds are so cute. I've already used the birds. And this little tiny sprig, there's a die for that. So fun. I think I'm going to use them a lot. Okay. Losing all my bells. I am going to trim off this excess just off the ends here. And then I'm going to adhere this to the soft suede. And then we'll embellish it. I use the stitched rectangle dies, the second from the largest for this Whisper White, and then the layer underneath that, the soft suede layer, is just a cut out rectangle, and I believe it's 3.5 by 4 7/8. So it's just 1/8 of an inch bigger on each side. Okay, then for the bells, I used the, let me just show you the picture in the catalog. I think that'll show better than just showing you the dies. Page 33. If you don't have a holiday mini, I would be happy to send you one, so let me know. Oh, yeah, I've heard of the dryer sheet trick too, Donna. I have used the dryer sheet, and it does help when you have an intricate die. But we're using the bell dies. We're not using the stamp set today. And I cut the largest bell from the piece of brushed metal or brushed metallic that's also in the holiday mini. I'm going to dump all my pieces out here. I didn't want to lose them. So I've got the brushed metal, one. And I am going to knock out the leaves and the holly berries because I want to paper piece that part with the green and the red, the cherry cobbler and the green. So I'm just punching these out with my, you don't have to punch them out if you want to use it, you know, just the little die all by its lonesome. But I thought it really added some color to do the paper piercing. Yeah, Donna, I've used wax paper and I've used dryer sheets, and dryer sheets do help. Now I just cut another bell out of the, y'all, what is wrong with my brain today? The green color, the shaded spruce. I cut it out of the, I need to take my zinc, the shaded spruce, and I didn't punch those out because I'm just going to glue this on top instead of trying to get those tiny little leaves stuck in there and piecing it together. But before I do that, I have punched some cherry cobbler circles from a scrap with just a paper punch, and I'm going to put them behind the berries. It just seemed to be just the right size, so I'm just putting a tiny bit of glue. I don't know if y'all can see. And I just punched out 3 little circles to cover up instead of trying to piece little circles into those little tiny holes. Because that's what I did with my sample and it took forever. But isn't it pretty? I thought there has to be a better way. And you probably want to save the little gold holly leaves to use on another project. So see how that worked? So that it shows through. They're a little big. Might have should used a smaller circle punch, but I can just trim off those little edges because I don't want those to show through my holly leaves. Okay, isn't that cute? And then I'm just going to glue it right on top of the green one to have the green showing through. There may be other ways of doing it. This is how I did it. I know some paper piercing, you literally take those tiny little pieces and put them in there. And I didn't want to do that because my hands are so big. Plus this gives my bell a little bit of substance. It's a little, what do you call it? More stable. And then I went ahead, these little bell dies are really cute. They have these little strips. I don't know what you would call them, but they're it just adds a little dimension to your die cut. So I went ahead and cut out the larger one for this large bell. Try not to get glue everywhere. See how it just adds a little tiny dimension to the bell? Isn't that cute? How artists or engineers think of these things, it just amazes me. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and glue this onto my card front and then put my bell on. So I'm just going to glue the top portion to here. because that's going to flip up and it's kind of, you kind of have to eyeball it to determine where you need to put your adhesive. So I know I'm going to need a little more right there. So you probably want to use a pretty strong adhesive. Okay, then I put my little bell on here with Stampin' Dimensionals. And I just put 2 on here in the middle because I'm going to stick my little sprigs on the side, so I didn't want a dimensional to be in the way. Okay, now we're almost done. I cut out 6 of the shaded spruce sprigs and 2 of the brushed metal in the gold. And I just kind of tucked them under that bell. Cattywomp from each other. And I'm just putting a little adhesive just right at the bottom. I'm not gluing the whole thing flat. I thought those curvy dies made a really cute background. Oh, I forgot to mention, I'm so excited. I've been so excited that maybe that's why my brain is out of commission this morning or this afternoon. If you are on my email list, you probably got an email inviting you to subscribe to my 12 Days of Christmas. And I am so excited about the projects I have planned. You guys are going to love them. So if you haven't signed up for the 12 Days of Christmas, how can you do it? Go to my Facebook page, and there is a post, and there's a link. Or go to my blog and make sure you sign up for the email list there, and you'll get an email about the 12 Days of Christmas. It's completely free. You're going to receive 2 projects a week for the next 6 weeks, starting next week. And these are above and beyond projects. These are very, they're beautiful, they're gorgeous, they're fun. You're going to love them. And you don't necessarily need my products to make them. You can probably, of course, I would love it if you need some products. I would love for you to buy some products from me. But there are going to be projects that you can probably make with what you have. Or alter. But the products I'm going to use are going to be beautiful, and I would love it and be so grateful if you decided to order anything from them. But it's just my gift to you for the holiday season. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this, and I am so excited. I'm using some gold thread. I use this a ton. It's from the Forever Greenery trim combo. I love it. And I'm just going to, I made a double bow and I'm going to stick it on the top of the bell using a mini glue dot. Anyway, when I get off of here, I will put the link for the 12 Days of Christmas in the comments below. So if you haven't signed up, please do, because it's going to be awesome. And I'm just going to trim this. Okay. And there's your card. Isn't that pretty? Every week I say, oh, this is going to be my card for the holidays. I just, I guess I'm in love with all my cards. No, I'm silly. I just wanted to share that new fold with you guys and the new dies that are coming up in the stamp set that is coming next week. So I'll talk about that more next week. If I can answer any questions or help you with anything, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I am home most days and available. Thank you, Connie. You're coming in kind of at the end, so be sure and watch the replay and get the whole thing. It'll be over on my blog later this afternoon, as soon as I get it all posted up over there. So you can also check it out along with the video replay at theplaidpoodle.com. All right, y'all. Have a great afternoon, and I'll see you Monday for Make It Monday. Bye-bye.